the summer of whiskey dicking? What was that, 2007?
Oh, yeah.
That was like a epidemic.
Everybody was whiskey dicking.
Yeah, the
It
pandemic.
was going around.
I think it was at a time when like we were really branching out and meeting a lot of new groups of people, and we were kind of getting into doing a lot of coke and drinking a lot of whiskey. And the cocaine whiskey combination wasn't great for our hardness. But at the same time, we were meeting a lot of girls that summer, right? We were like we were kind of like awkward, funny dudes, but not always great at, asking ladies out and stuff. But that was the summer where we were really like, things were happening, right? But
that was one of the best summers of my life.
Which summer was this? Which year?
I think it was 2007.
No, it was a whiskey dick pandemic of 2009 because I remember finger banging came back that year. Right? Finger banging made a big comeback, right? And it's like, well, yeah, like finger banging came back. It's like because we were fucking limping, and I don't even think it was like yeah, you know what I mean. It happens. We did a bunch of coke and we drank a bunch of whiskey, and you know what I mean. It's like we all whiskey dicks, but then it's like we were all fucking thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was like, oh man, like you know, you start like making out with a girl and it's like, is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to get it? Oh my god, it's not. I really liked it because the girls knew.
Sure.
Yeah.
The girls knew, and
this happens to me a lot.
Well, no,
the girls like, this is what happens.
They knew every single fucking one of us was whiskey dicking on chicks left, right. I'm pretty sure it helped me get almost laid because they would be like, I'm going to be the one that gets this guy a fucking boner.
Right.
Yeah. And but then after a while, they'd be like,
amongst them.
So you can't get a boner, eh? And you'd be like, thank you.
They're like, we'll see about that.
Yeah, but leaving a girl, wet and wanting like that is what gets me hard later when I masturbate, Whiskey dicking is...
One time I whiskey dicked.
That's what you want to do.
And I was walking home and I had my hood up and it was raining and I was just so fucking sad because I was like, I can't believe that happened. I can't. And then I just saw Aaron and he was fucking walking with his hood up all fucked up and sad. I was like, what's up, dude? He's like, fucking it happened again, man. It fucking happened again.
Do you remember that Kiwi chick?
Yeah.
She gave Aaron 3 chances. It took 3 or 4 times, and she kept going back. She's like, I know you can do this, buddy. They tried, like, it was like the 3rd or 4th time.
She was the classiest, most graceful, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen or met or talked to.
Yeah.
She kept giving him chances.
Yeah. And she was fucking with him, too. Like, the 3rd time, they, like, met up for a nice date under fucking cherry blossoms, and she was like, pulled out the fucking Jack Daniels, and he was like, why you gotta do that?
That's funny. Good for her.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Girls can be
that's a
hardcore with that
quality
shit.
lady.
That's good. I like it. She had a sense of humor with that. I once started dating a girl, and we went to the hot springs for a camping trip, and there was some other of our crew around, and she was so aggressive and forceful. She suddenly just was like, let's do this. And I was still in the like get to know you stage, and it gave me nerves, right? And the whole first session, I was like off and on, couldn't.
80%, right?
Yeah, well, I got to 80%. I was like, it wasn't happening very well. And then the next time we went out, like it did happen eventually, but it was 80%.
Yeah.
And then the next time we hung out and we were gonna sleep together, she was like, I don't know, do you think you can get hard? I was like, fucking Christ.
Not now.
Fucking Christ, lady. Jeez, thanks.
Are we on the same team or not?
Yeah, we both want this to happen.
Yeah. See, that was the nice thing about this
So that was the same. Sorry, that was the same girl with Aaron.
No,
Aaron?
sorry. I just
okay.
drifting through girls, man.
Yeah.
I whiskey dicked on a lot of girls.
Yeah.
That was a good summer. It was one of the best summers of my life, but poof.
Well, this is what happens.
Could have been a bit better.
Not to Dean, maybe, but yeah.
No, that kid's got a fucking sturdy boner, man.
Yeah, he just...
All right, I got a question. If I were to watch solo male masturbation porn, is that gay? There's nothing gay going on.
No, it's only one guy.
No, there's only one dude there.
That's what I thought, too. There's nothing
Right.
homo happening.
Trick question, isn't it? That was a trick question.
Most
There's
people
only
say
one dude there.
It is. Well, I don't know. It's like sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I like to watch some solo male masturbation porn. It's
So
like,
you're
whatever.
just watching a dude just sitting there and masturbating,
Yeah, maybe.
and you're masturbating to that.
That's not gay.
Bitch, I might
It's
be.
not gay. It
That's
seems
not gay.
kind of boring.
Sometimes when you're masturbating,
moral support.
You look down at your own dick and you're masturbating and looking at yourself.
Yeah, and
and,
you're like, yeah, look at my dick.
Well, that's gay.
You're like, yeah,
that's
it's
gay.
all
If
big
you
and
can't-
hard. Woo!
If you can't look at your own dick when you're
So-
whacking off, you are gay.
So how is that?
That's right. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's a
like
good
that's
point.
like you
You'd
are
be
insecure.
severely closeted.
you look down and see your dick, and you're like, ew. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No, but
It's
if you
just
did
me
look
and
down
my
at-
dick? I
See,
don't
would
know.
that make you ultra not gay? Or wait,
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like sometimes I look at GIFs, on this site that I go to, and it's so because it's like you can see fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So sometimes it's like cum shots, and it's like like every like 20th one is just a dude bopping by himself. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of gay, and then I was like, you know what? No, fuck it, I like seeing it. I like seeing a guy blap.
Well, I mean,
it's
it's a dude blapping. That's hetero.
It's
I
a
like
celebration.
That's hetero.
It's a celebration.
it's not different from what you watch yourself do, right?
Well, and that's not gay.
Well,
That's
it's
not.
not.
And
That's
that's we've established that's not gay.
When
It's
when I
girthier.
watch a guy ejaculate, it's not that I'm like sexually aroused to see him ejaculate, but I am like stoked as a man to see another guy having a good time. So it's more of like a bro thing, right?
Right on.
You know
right
what I
on.
mean? Like just
That's
like
the
fucking
angle.
and that kind of turns me on. But it's the support that arouses me. Not
Yeah, it's like
not the
what's-
boners.
when I see a guy like rip down the road and big loud motor, whatever, it kind of you get turned on a little bit by that.
Yeah.
In like
Yeah.
a Firebird or
whatever, just
Yeah.
a
Loud.
guy
Red.
being a guy. Totally,
Yeah,
you know,
you're like that guy whiskey dicked.
you're like,
I was watching a porn recently where everything was, going as planned, nothing weird. It was two guys with one girl. And then one guy was fucking the girl, and then he just started blowing the other dude, and I
That
was like,
shit is
"Whoa, what's
tight.
happening?"
That shit
Yeah.
is fucking
And I was like,
tight.
"Is this awesome? It may be. It's
Yeah, it's
kind of
like, right?
awesome."
by MMF.
I watched
kinda
one.
shit, yeah.
I watched one, and it was in a movie theater, and this chick goes up to these two dudes, and she starts fucking them, and it's like absolutely normal porno, and they're not touching each other at all, and then they blap, and she just leaves, and then they start fucking each other. Like it was the weirdest plot twist ever, because I was like, okay, yeah, this normal straight porno's done, and then it's like, nope, they're good to go again
Right.
fast.
It's like, what's this extra 10 minutes here?
Yeah. I liked it. I mean, I wasn't like that keen on it, but
The thing is with those plot twists,
You see it enough,
is you're
and
in the
it's fine.
middle of stroking it, and you're probably just gonna keep watching. You're like, "Well, fuck, we're doing this now."
it's kind of hot to see a guy come from getting fucked in the ass. That's what I'm saying.
That's not gay.
It's kind of hot. It's kind of hot.
Like the guy fucking him in the ass comes, and then
No,
it's,
the guy
it's almost
that's
like the cum goes right
getting-
through him out of his dick.
Straight shot.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched it that
That's
many
hot.
times, but I think it's kind of hot. I think it's kind of hot. Whatever.
And again, not gay.
No, I don't think so.
No, no.
Unless
whatever.
it's two
No.
men fucking each other, that would be you're probably gay because you're watching gay porn.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Tyler,
I don't know,
there's a
yeah,
guy
I mean,
fucking another guy, and
I
the
feel
guy
like it's
coming
a
from getting
recap.
fucked.
It's just a recap. Before
If you suck a dude's dick
Move
because
on.
you love him, that's pretty gay. But if you suck a dude's dick because he had like a hard day, and you're his buddy and he's stressed out and you just want to like support him and help him relieve some stress, that's not gay. That's friendship.
I think is David Bowie gay? No, David Bowie just fucked so much that sometimes he fucked dudes. It's like that's
Yeah.
cool, That I think it's like, I don't know. It's like it's only gay if you are gay, which is completely fine. But it's like if a guy wants to look at some porno, some shit's going down, and you're in the heat of the moment. It's like the last 5 minutes of sex. It's like you might not be into some of the stuff at the start of sex and in the middle of sex, but the last 5 minutes, sometimes you're pulling hair, you're slapping, you're choking. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, it's like when a movie gets really fucking weird at the climax and you're half asleep and you're like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
happens.
fine. Yeah.
Agreed.
It's an ending.
Yes.
It's an ending.
there are tests you can take on a certain websites that will tell you what you're supposed to be. Say if there'd be questions like that, like, do you want to see two guys fuck, or you just want to watch one dude masturbate? And then it would tell you, well, that means you're.
Well, there's
You know.
you're saying there's tests.
What about if
There
you're
are
yeah,
tests.
there are tests.
There are tests.
What
Right.
about if you're in
Well,
a threesome
that's-
with one girl and two
yeah.
guys, and when you're
take
fucking
one.
the girl, you're a guy
should
fucking
take
her,
one.
but then when you start, blowing the guy, you self-identify as a girl, right? That's not gay.
Oh man.
Right. Well, if we're getting into the identifying,
I just
yeah.
don't think. I just think it's like if you're so into fucking that you're having, like, let's say in that group sex situation, you're fucking and you just things are going crazy, and then you can still keep this fucking boner to fuck a dude, and you're not gay. I think that makes you kind of the fucking most manly motherfucker in the world. Just two dudes.
It's not
fucking.
that I wanted to fuck dudes. It's just that I still had a boner.
Yeah, man. That's a sturdy.
That's
a
hella straight.
Hey,
Sturdier
you still,
bone.
every
hella
once in a
straight.
while, I still get that. You know, when you come and there's still a boner happening, that's good.
Yeah, well, lucky you, bud.
It's not common, okay? But it still happens on, you know.
And my
guys
boner
not
is better.
call it that
I was
every
just
once in a while?
nervous. I was nervous, and the girl helped me through it, and now it's better.
But it's different. Like I've been
Yeah,
with single woman for
betterboner.com.
many years. It's comfortable. If it's not comfortable,
Yeah,
anything can happen.
yeah. I wanted
Floppies
to,
happen.
Yeah, I wanted to go home. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
I know that
was
feeling when
so
you just it's
fucked
like I
up.
just want to go to my bed.
Yeah, I was looking at like the ex's Instagram and shit, and I was like, I just want to go home.
Oh God.
Cut that part.
I'm not going to. Well, yeah, okay, if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parts. that
We'll
aren't
talk
that
about the
good.
cuts later. We'll talk about the cuts later. Like, is anything you want cut, get cut.
Let's hear about that butthole story, Chris. I think that one's worth talking
Right,
about.
we didn't let you
that
finish the
constitutes
butthole
a
story.
little
Yeah, we'll give you-
talking, does it?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So, Mike's all yours.
Well,
This is going to be called the Stinky Booth. Yeah. Go on.
the Stinky Booth.
Booth.
That's,
yeah,
that's
this
the
is
working title for this episode.
Stinky Booth.
We had Indian last night, but go
I think
ahead,
we're gonna have
Chris.
to see a
Take it away.
definition of the word booth later too. Yeah, so I had this thing on my butt. You know, I put it off for a couple of days. It was like I had like a little pimple on the side of my butthole kind of thing. And
Right.
yeah, basically. And then yeah, you know, within about 2 days, I think it swelled up to like the size of a golf ball.
Yeah, that's fast.
And yeah,
Yeah,
I went to the
that's
hospital like any normal person would, and for whatever reason, the doctor had to put her finger in my butthole.
Even though it wasn't
And then-
in your butthole.
Yeah, it was
the
like
reason
on
to
the
me seems
side of the
clear.
butt.
She was,
Anyways,
that
yeah,
was optional. That was clearly optional.
it was a gland inside the butthole. So I mean, they had a reason, I guess, but
You do have
Yeah.
glands.
whatever.
there. We do have glands there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So first, I got checked out by a lady doctor, and that wasn't too bad because she's got nice small little fingers and.
Yeah. Yeah. that is-
Still hurt, just for the record.
Yeah,
hurt
you
like
had
a
a fucking
motherfucker.
swollen ass golf ball fucking thing on the side of your anus.
No, that actually didn't hurt that much. It was the fucking finger in my asshole that.
she must have been
It
pretty
was-
Rough then.
Dude,
Did you use lube?
And I tell
believe you.
I take
you
some
have a
big
tight
shits
asshole,
too.
But
Right. It's pristine.
I'm sure it was much tighter than
No, they did
usual.
this. She did this weird, like
She knuckled
twist.
ya.
Yeah, she
She
knuckled
gave
it and then spun it around, and that was like, what the. Is that really
Yeah.
necessary?
Were you like,
you gotta give me the
"Oh!"
fucking screwdriver.
Oh, man. Sounds like that doctor was out of control.
Anyway, I guess she needed
like she was a lock
someone.
breaker.
I guess I needed a second look because
She's tapped.
she left and told me that her colleague needs to come and check too.
She was like,
Really?
Daryl, you gotta check this shit out.
They're just people
This asshole is
fucking
tight.
around. They're just people. Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, I got my bro in here.
One time I was having a hard time getting a boner for this girl, and she put a finger in my butt, and it was like, bing!
Yeah?
It really
Was there
fast.
Tabasco? Obviously
No,
not.
I was.
No, maybe.
I don't know.
Did she give you the
I heard
corkscrew?
good things about that. Tabasco. on a
Tabasco
finger.
in the pooper?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it
on
makes-
Curb Your Enthusiasm. They talked about it. It's like a trick.
I read about it separately
They're
from that
like,
as well,
"Whoop."
and it does because it causes blood to rush down there.
Right.
Ooh.
It just gets things going.
Did you get an erection at all when she was playing with your butthole?
No, she was actually a
It's
pretty
fine.
attractive doctor too, but no, it hurt.
It was too serious.
Yeah, she probably
Too
wrote about it
painful.
in her diary that night, though.
Yeah.
She's like, I do lots of
I
weird
hope
shit
she,
at work. I don't know what's
Today
even
when
going
I
on.
knuckled this Ukrainian motherfucker, he had the tightest asshole I ever did see.
Yeah, she probably wrote your name and dotted the I with a heart.
And weird letters that we. Yeah. Yeah. Hard. Yeah.
Or, a tiny little
And
butthole.
just for the record, the male doctor also did the corkscrew.
And he also dotted your I with a heart.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he didn't start because he probably had bigger hands. You
Yeah.
were warmed up.
That's
a bit.
why they do it that
Maybe
way.
they
I was-
they
you learn that in
coordinated
med school.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
bring the ladies in first
First
because
you
they're
gotta warm
they're
them
more
up.
petite, and then the men come in.
Can
She's
you,
like, I'm not even a doctor. I'm just a nurse. He's like, it's fine.
We just got to get things dilated
really
first.
simple.
And
I
This
had
is
to
so
get
simple.
a biopsy when I had that lump in my neck years ago, and I got 2 students who were figuring it out, and they're like, okay, and they were really nervous.
Where did you get? Yeah.
we're gonna put this needle in, and we're gonna check it out. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And they were like, it went on for a while, and they just kept poking it. And one guy was like, "Did we get it? Did we get it?"
What was it, a biopsy of?
Yeah, we don't want to go into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had to
It
call
looked
it
like
quits.
you were doing like a hammering motion, so I was like, what the fuck
I
were
just
they
don't
having?
They were jamming that needle in there, missing, trying again, and then they gave me a, they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I've had to call it quits on certain inexperienced nurses, like for my kids when they need to be the blood drawn, and like they're just
That makes sense.
they're not cutting it, and they're poking and poking. And I'm like,
Yeah,
listen,
it's nuts.
Yeah, and you're
I've
like a
seen them
needle
do it to
pro,
Jay.
right?
it's
Like, you're like, let me do it.
I know I could have gotten that shit done. Yeah, but I
My
was like-
feminist
it was like,
friend
you gotta
recently was
stop.
complaining that doctors make so much more than nurses, and she was like, "It's kind of sexist." And I was like, "Well, first, okay, a couple things. Doctors can be men and women. Nurses can be men and women. And also, do you want your doctor getting paid like a nurse, or do you want them to go to med school for 10 years?"
Yeah,
It was-
that's
that was
legit.
funny. But she was
Yeah.
really like,
Yeah.
"I just think it says something about our cultures.
Like, you could be a doctor too.
It definitely does say something about our culture in that we
about our
live-
values."
that we value a meritocracy, and so we
try.
want-
Is it what
we
is this?
want-
We value highly experienced, well-educated people all of a sudden.
No, it really.
Why are they
no,
better?
But it does really go to show that.
Yeah.
So she's totally right.
Yeah. Except for
It just-
she was against it.
She
Like
even-
she was like,
no,
I don't know.
it
It
even
just
sounds like
seems
she's-
like, it's a man's world.
Kind of, she
Of
said.
course, doctors make more money than nurses.
Again, she's saying all the right, correct things, but having bad
the
feelings.
wrong. She's
whilst
drawing the wrong conclusion.
Someone could
There-
say those
I-
exact same words with a positive attitude.
Yeah.
but it'd still be the same factual words.
That's a good
So,
point.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
those
Like someone-
nurses probably
yeah.
should be being paid more. Like they do. It's like a really important job, and they do a great job.
I think it's
But they
relative
paid a bit
for
more.
sure, but it's
So
relative
they
to
do
But
like
not
how
as
much,
not as much as a doctor who's
how much
Not
school
as
they have
much,
to go to,
but they
right? Like
still
how much
make a
school
lot.
do you go to be a nurse?
Yeah.
How much
Well,
school
no,
do you
it's
go
like
to be a
just like
doctor?
I've been in the hospital a fair
It's a
amount. It's
couple
like
years.
it's a very serious, important job. Like they're administering medications and they're taking care of people, and like they have to be on the fucking ball.
They're
Yeah.
overworked.
And then they're overworked.
It's I mean, so are
Work
the
like-
doctors. Though the doctor
Yeah.
shifts
the
are
doctor
crazy
gives
long
you
too.
10 minutes. Doctor
Yeah.
comes in for 10 fucking
But
minutes,
they're
like, blah, blah,
but
blah.
they
The
see
nurses
like
are all fucking
yeah,
day.
but they're with you the whole time. It's like it's a real solid job. Like the doctors are like making big calls, like but like so many people like
Yeah,
that
they
10
have, like,
minutes, and then you do
1,000
10 minutes
people
to somebody
under them.
else, and then 10 minutes to somebody else, like for their whole day.
For like 24 hours straight.
For some reason, 24 hours straight, and then we get angry when they make a mistake.
Yeah, it's like, I killed that guy. It's like, yeah, you were up
It's
for
like, that's-
24 hours straight. So, yeah.
I
that
remember
makes
when when Vinny was born, my daughter, like our doctor, like we got there at like 7 a.m, and then like I think she was born at like way late at night, and I know that like he specifically had to go to the roof to do karate for like an hour. That was his thing. It was like he didn't actually get rest. He was able to go and do karate for a while, and then he got right back to delivering babies for another fucking 10 hours.
You can't even drive a fucking truck for that long. Like, you have to
It's
pull
insane.
over and sleep.
I don't understand why. It's so insane.
And karate of all of them.
Yeah, you just had to go
Not
on the
Tai
roof. It was like
Chi,
it's like fuck, yeah, just like yeah.
Instead of sleep, I now just do karate.
I just do karate.
Hey, could you could you hold off on having that baby?
He just has to go on the roof and do jump kicks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nothing about that sounds wrong.
Teenage
to me.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant. Yeah,
Not trained at all.
Yeah, he sucks.
yeah. He never actually been to a karate class. He just
He's
does
not
his
even
own
really a
form
doctor.
of childlike karate that he learned from the Ninja Turtles.
He's an
His
escaped
favorite is
patient.
Donatello, the nerd.
But yeah, like nurses,
Just
like,
call me Dr. Karate.
nurses make like 80, 90, 100 grand a year plus great benefits. Right?
Do they? I thought like
yeah,
it's
sure.
like $30 an hour. I mean,
No.
the
Oh,
reason.
God, no.
You
No,
get
no,
a-
no. I know a
you get a
nurse,
good
and
salary.
she makes about that much an hour. She just works so many hours.
She's
that
a shitty nurse. I don't know. What
Yeah,
to
they
say.
I
can.
know they well, yeah.
She's maybe a fake nurse.
I'm gonna send this to her. This part, this clip. she's just
John,
shitty.
Like your mom,
I think it's
was a
around
nurse,
that.
Isn't she?
My mom?
Or she was a nurse, or is?
Never.
I thought your mom was a nurse.
No,
Why-
she did some.
Oh, that's just how she dressed
but,
up
like,
when
she-
I
but,
was
like,
boning her.
But my old roommate Brian, like he's a nurse. He's gone on to like being
yeah.
a management at
Whoa,
a
whoa,
nursing
whoa, whoa, whoa.
facility.
But Brian is a guy's
A
name.
male nurse.
And like
That's-
I know he made like 45 minimum as a nurse. And Kylie's girlfriend, she just got a job inoculating people with the vaccine up in
You say 45 minimum?
45 minimum at least.
I must.
She's
Be,
up
I
in-
must be wrong. 'Cause- Yeah,
Nurses
and I'm
make a lot of
glad.
money.
I'm
Well,
glad
they
I'm
sure
wrong.
do bitch a
But
lot
it
for
depends-
making 45 bucks an hour,
45
don't they?
is-
I hear a lot
That's-
about the nurses union like,
But they're
blah, blah, blah.
mostly women, and it's
45?
not as much as the man doctor.
That's not the same
So,
job.
duh, of course
it's
they
not.
complain.
It's not the
But-
same.
No, it's not.
Are we going to talk about the fucking gender wage gap?
But
here?
also, the,
No, nurses can be boys or girls.
I was gonna say,
right.
I was just
But
gonna,
I don't want the male ones. They don't take care of you. I don't give a shit.
I want to be nurtured.
unless they're
But
gay.
like,
if a gay
like
man
my
was a
friend
nurse,
Kate,
I would feel
she
comfortable.
just got a job inoculating the vaccine. My friend Kate,
Okay.
she's delivering the vaccine to people up in a place near Prince George. She just got this job the other day. It's $600 a day for 2 weeks on, and then she gets 2
Holy
weeks off.
fuck!
Holy shit.
I could stick needles in people for 600
Yeah,
bucks.
so get
a
on
day.
it for $600 a day.
Yeah, that's decent.
Yeah, but that was she
Not
started
just
out
you,
at the
that's-
bottom though, and she had to apply for that position. So
you're
she
saying-
probably started out pretty low.
Well,
but I mean,
What's
she's
low?
been a nurse. She's
Obviously.
been a nurse for a very
Yeah,
long time.
exactly.
You do have to be,
so like you have to work your way up to
she started
You
at the
need to
bottom and
know how,
actually
you need to know how to work
$600
a
a fucking
vein,
day.
right? You need to know how to work a vein.
Wait, we should get her here though, so that she could inoculate us.
Yeah, I wanted you.
Can you make that happen?
Saul, I wanted
can't
you to
because,
notice I'm a.
None of you guys
That's
fall within
illegal.
the category of eligibility right now for getting vaccine. You're not old enough.
And I'm white too. That sucks.
Bruno wants us to
not
look at
good.
Like
his
if you guys
CBC
all
shirt.
decided to become postal workers tomorrow,
Trying to
you
drop
could
a
get
hint.
the vaccine.
Right.
What's that?
We were going to talk about. We were going to interview John Page about.
Right. Do you want to get in the hot seat?
No,
Well, next time, can we?
We were going to interview him about the CBC.
Yeah, because
you work for Canada, and you can tell us about why the
several
CBC sucks
unions.
now.
CBC. I did not
Yeah,
work
what-
for the CBC. Canada
No.
Post. I work for
Well,
Canada Post.
it's all the
We know, we know.
This is Canada.
But the
This is
government.
Canada.
What's going on with the government? What's going on?
John,
Is there training?
Tell us.
How come the Canada's
What is it
saying
like?
that I'm bad now? Because of my beliefs. Can you explain that?
What have they done to you, Johnny? What have they done to you?
They vaccinated me. I don't know. I got nothing.
Did your thoughts change when you got that shot? Like, was it like immediate, or was it like kind of over the next?
Did you find
a few
yourself-
days
No,
later?
it was over a few
It was
days.
over a few days, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, no, everything. The Canada government is great. You know,
You know, there's some
CBC is
people that like
the
are
CBC
like-
is completely listenable.
There's like a couple people that are like, oh yeah, great. Now the government can just track you wherever you go now, and it's like,
Yeah.
Did you feel more compliant?
you whip out the phone, and you're like, I guess, what? Like you,
Yeah, no. If you have a phone,
Yeah.
it's over. Yeah, that's real.
But then I'll make the sass comment. I'm like, well, at least if I fall into a tree well when I'm snowboarding, they might be able to find me better now.
And that happens.
And
what,
then they just
twice, 3 times a year max. Tree well.
It's a dangerous thing, man.
Yeah, I guess. Is it?
Yeah, you could die, man. Luckily, he's fucking chipped.
Right, you get chipped.
get vaccinated, and then they'll be able to find you.
I heard a story the other day about this guy in New York City, New York, for the layman, and he was
Where's that?
he was drunk, and he was walking through a cordoned off construction site, and the workers there were working all night, and they had gone for a break, and he just like lifted the tape, and he walked through the site, and they had left a manhole cover open where they were working, and he just walked right into it and fell. It was about 30 feet down, and so they were on the break. They come back and they call it a night, and they put the lid back on, and they went home for the weekend. And then when they came back on Monday, he was being eaten by rats.
That's a nice story.
Jesus Christ.
So that's what it's like working for the city. Is that what you experienced?
No.
Yeah. Canada Post, though.
You ever find a guy being eaten by rats?
Is Canada Post ableist a little bit?
They are non-ableist.
They're not ableist.
Like,
What
do
is
you
that?
mean?
Which one
Well,
means
where's-
which?
Ableist is like, oh, you're you have a problem with people that perhaps have a disability, whereas if you're non-able, like it's like being a racist,
Yeah,
right?
all right.
Or you're an ableist.
Right.
Where's the government program where we just like, where's the ramps?
No, Canada Post, it's like they're spot on in every.
Are there a lot of?
They do have ramp. How do they?
Are there a lot of male people?
They've got better than ramps.
Are in
They've got
wheelchairs?
elevators.
Right. No, I didn't mean like for the people who deliver mail, though. I mean, where are the rocket wheelchairs? The Back to the Future style technology that we all. I've seen the videos. That shit exists now.
I think the fact
Where's
that we
that?
call it male is just another sign that we live in a patriarchy.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Either that, or
Do you
we
have
have to like really like dig
comment on
back
that?
to what the word male really means.
I think I think saying that's going to get you laid.
I think so too. I like to believe that.
It's all about just manipulating people, right? That's how you do it.
If you're a sociopath,
As
yes.
a person who works for the postal.
That's
service.
what you got to do. You got
Right.
to be like, I have a disability, and you're fucking hired.
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
That's the key.
That's the key.
Where are your, where do you fit on the totem pole of people who are being,
Well, I'm basically fucking retarded.
ableist is a weird
Yeah.
term. Have you guys ever heard people being
Sorry.
like, "Fucking
we'll cut
wheelchair
that.
quadriplegics, fucking hate him."
Only Milo Yiannopoulos has said that, as far as I know.
I would say that like if I was hiring somebody, I probably would be ableist. You have to be able to physically do the job. Like you can't be
That's
in
a
a
good
wheelchair.
point.
That's
and
wrong
I need
now.
you to
But like
but-
ableist can like apply to people that the person might be able to do the job. Oh, but they wear hearing aids. Oh well, I don't know if I'm going to hire that person
Because
Yeah, well,
maybe they need to hear things.
maybe
or-
if something's about to
whereas,
fall on them.
there is a solution. There is a solution to that, or
I
you
thought
can
the solution
work around
was
that,
hearing
right?
aids.
Hearing aids, or
Yeah.
it's like there might be some people might like place a stigma, or might think, I don't know if I want to,
Yeah.
Whereas that's fucking ableist.
I'm hearing that the Canadian government now is encouraging you to call out your grandparents for their racism.
Oh,
Wait, can you speak? Can you speak to that?
Yeah.
yeah, I've done it before.
Tell us about that, John.
I've done it before. Yeah, thankfully, I can
Why don't
talk
we just
about it
let
because
them
everyone's
die?
dead now. But
My question is, why don't we just let them die?
like, it was
With the
easy,
impression
it's
that
easier
we
to
love
just
them.
let them like beak off about whatever they want to beak off, and then have them tell you about their trips to Mexico.
Yeah,
than
I
it is to
literally-
challenge them
so
because
my-
it ends poorly.
My YouTube, because I don't pay for premium like Bruno, I actually get like, ads. And the BC government is doing their thing where it's like, if you have family members who say terrible things, please call them out on the spot. Literally, like is the PSA, and it's like, but why don't we just let them die and also let them have the illusion that we love them as they die?
Why don't we use the money for those ads to help people
Exactly.
instead? Like there's fucking
It's
drug addicts
crazy.
dying
I
on the
can't-
fucking street. There's native people that need fresh fucking water.
That shit fucking costs to make those they're paying for the ad space. I honestly couldn't believe it. I was
That's
like,
absurd. That's an absurd waste of money.
Ridiculous. They're like, if they don't give any context. They're just like, if you feel someone has a bad opinion in your family, you gotta say something.
And
It's a great sentiment.
I feel
It's
like
I agree
that-
with the
it makes it a
sentiment.
I
kind of a
agree
smart
to it,
political thing.
but also like pick your battles. Like let's be honest, it's going to be most likely your grandparents saying some shit that probably made sense when they grew up. When they,
I think
did.
a lot of old
And
people
then-
know, they're
just let 'em-
scared.
let them.
They know the tides have turned.
Die. They're
I
gonna
remember,
die.
like back in the '90s, I remember the attitude towards Native people was quite negative, and it was like,
Was it here?
yes,
I don't remember any of
absolutely.
that.
It still is.
I personally hear, like I know, like I've heard terrible stories other places. Here, that went totally over my radar. Like I was like, Native people, like, well, what's the problem? For
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never heard
I mean,
anything,
for sure.
anybody
I-
in my circle or in my life ever say anything negative.
Yeah, I
about
didn't
Native
hear
people.
anything from my family who were racist in many ways, but
Not to where I just
Never
never
really-
heard it. I was just like, yeah, whatever.
the native
Because
thing
if-
never came up much.
Just before I carry on with the cigarette, I was just gonna say you can either argue with your grandparents and have them write you out of their will, or you
Well,
can
we
just
got to
sit there and
factor in the
listen.
wills.
You could
Yeah,
get the
the
money
wills,
from the
right?
will and donate it to an anti-racist cause,
Right. Net gain.
right? Just saying.
What you could
Tyler-
do, I think you could use that money, buy as many copies of White Privilege as possible.
White fragility.
Or whatever, white fragility.
Or
Or how to be an anti-racist, or both. use all that money, buy as many copies as you can, and just distribute them, like to schools.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Or you could spend that same money buying a Leonard Skinner album and just fucking rocking out.
Yo, Skinner,
You
man.
know?
Skinner, underrated, dude.
It's kind of sweet fucking Southern rock shit. That's
it
just fucking tight.
Is sweet. Let's listen to some
Southern
Skinner
rock.
after
We'll
this.
put it on as it goes out.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of this podcast, we'll let Leonard Skinner just
Yeah,
take it
even
away.
like Freebird, it's a fucking joke. Like, oh, play Freebird.
I asked, the last fire we had here, I was like, play Freebird. And then I put it on and I was like, it's tight.
It's fucking tight. Tuesday's
Yeah.
gone.
I'll
That's
be
a
right
tight
back.
song,
I
too.
gotta pee.
Oh my God. What are we going to talk about?
I can't. I gotta.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, do it. Yeah.
I gotta say, I actually have been encountering some mild racism lately. Not against me, of course. I'm
I thought you were going to say
white,
because
so-
You're actually
No.
you're an Italian though,
right. Our race. We did Rome.
I noticed.
Never forget Rome.
I notice things like that.
But people, but against maybe like brown dudes and Persians and stuff on the job site, I do notice some.
On the job site, sure.
I've had a couple of guys like say like it's weird because a couple guys comment on the same thing. They want to go to the gym, but like they live in an area of town where there's a lot of Persians, and they would talk about feeling crowded out and having to smell the type of food they eat, and it was a weird thing to come up. I thought, and I thought, wow, that's actually legitimately kind of racist.
I don't know if it is racist though.
I think it's pretty racist. But those kind of tensions
their-
are going to
their
come up.
food
When you have a
smells
city where
weird.
cultures mix.
They're not that
awkward for
friendly.
people.
Maybe
It's
you
weird.
know.
Yeah, it's weird for people. But we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
And I always try to say something positive, like, yeah, but it's kind of neat. They're eating different stuff. It's a whole crazy world. We're meeting people from other places. It's
think,
kind of
like-
wild. If you get to know them, you'll learn about their
Sure,
smells.
and like they would
Not all
but-
bad, right?
Well, the smells are frankly terrible. Generally, duh. We don't, some
Well,
of
they're
it's fine.
different. They're different.
At work, like there's always some brown guys who they always bring their lunches in, and when they open it up, you can smell the curry, and sometimes it does smell good, but most of the time it kind of doesn't. It smells like kind of, their wife who isn't very good at cooking made it or something or whatever. And then
Also, not really a race issue because
it's just not a race
people of
issue.
any race can bring
But-
fish to work and microwave it, and you're like,
Sure, you'd be like that fucking Jeremy's always eating his fucking egg salad.
Yeah.
You'd be
Yeah.
like, fuck
people
that
with their
guy.
egg salads.
Fart sandwiches.
But real racism is something like, say, and even you could say, oh, the Jewish people aren't a race, but I mean, whatever. That's not the point of this. The point is, they really do face real racism, where people are like, man, according to history, you should have been exterminated, and that's how I think real racist thinking goes. Is there's always a historical context, and there's always a will for maybe not always extermination, but anyway, it's different when someone's
the
like,
Jews are super interesting.
it's different when
too.
you're like, my gym's just full of Persians these days, and I've got squeezed out, and it sucks. I don't know if that's
the Jews get racism from the far right and the far left,
Oh,
which is a
absolutely, they
pretty
do.
interesting position they're in, right? You got whole legions of people that are pretty left wing that just want
But-
Israel to be nuked because of the Palestinian
I think
crisis.
in many ways you could say most people are actually hated by the far left and the far right. Not
Yeah.
just the Jews, but
Even the far left is hated by the far
maybe
left.
especially the
Yeah. I'm far left and I hate the far left.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
What are we even doing here? I don't get it.
Yeah. It's true.
yeah,
We got into some trouble this week, didn't we, with our sister?
A little
know?
bit.
little
little bit.
social media drama there, boys.
I got a little hurt. I got a little bit embarrassed because I got, a little hurt because there was a joke made at just general men's expense, and I just felt this part of me that was like, enough, stop it, just stop blaming men for everything. And I kind of reacted a little bit, and then I was like, why did I say that?
Is that what you said? No.
No, I always said something a little
That'd be-
snide, a little comical, but
I could just see you're typing all that in caps.
But it adds up.
Stop
it adds up. It
Come
adds
on.
up, I mean, you go through your life, you're doing your thing, you work hard, you try to be a good person, you support good causes, you have good friends, and there's this continual stream of negativity aimed at you, and it adds up. It's like Chinese water drip torture shit, it just starts to wear through. And it's after a
Yeah.
while, it's like, well, what the fuck can I do? What can, like, God damn it.
You obviously are being asked to
That's
stop.
white fragility. That's
You're
what
being-
it is, right?
But
I'm
you are being
fragile.
asked to stop
guess.
thinking independently in general. So I think you do know what they want you to do, and you're not willing to do it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you're right.
That is what it is.
I'm not willing to just,
think
apologize for
if we're
being
gonna actually-
born the way I was.
Yeah, for sure. I think if we're actually gonna talk about that situation, we would have to explain more, but the context of what happened. But I'm not sure I want to do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought the meme was good social commentary. Personally, I thought it was pretty good.
You want to talk about that meme?
I don't
I'm
know
gonna.
what the fuck else.
Yeah, let's talk about
I think I was a little-
on the podcast.
I'm gonna have
I was a
more.
little bit maybe reactive, right? Like, maybe I shouldn't take things personally.
Well,
Like
you
I said,
wanna
it was like,
explain what the meme was.
all right, okay. So,
So
yeah,
we can. So if this is going to be,
it was.
people need to know.
It was
Yeah, I don't
an
know what the meme is.
anti-abortion meme, and it was basically like explaining, vasectomies can be reversed. So all you anti-abortionists out there, what if we, force all teenage boys to get a vasectomy, and then when they can prove to be a good father, we'll reverse their vasectomies. What about that? And
John's shaking his head now and he's raising his hand.
No, it's like
you would never say that. It would never be acceptable to reverse those roles. It would never be acceptable to say, teenage pregnancy really severely limits girls' prospects in their future. So maybe a solution to that would be to force all teenage girls to get IUDs. Haha. It wouldn't fly, right? And can we not get the same amount of respect?
Well, I said my initial thing was like, "This is funny?" ? And everybody freaked out. It was basically what happened. Even though it's a joke in quotes, even though clearly it isn't a joke because everybody took it extremely seriously.
Because if you took it seriously, they'd say it was a joke. So you assumed it was a joke. So you said that's not funny.
See, I kind of thought that played into the joke. The whole point of the joke was to give men a reaction.
No,
of,
I
you're going to tell
understand.
people what to do with their
I
bodies.
understand. I just thought
men
it was,
aren't doing that. This is
Men
the whole
aren't
fucking
doing
myth.
that overwhelmingly.
Half of people who are pro-life are women. Half of people who are pro-choice are men. This is not a battle between genders.
Maybe
It
it's
isn't.
maybe in
That
some
was
way
my
though.
biggest criticism of it is like you're lumping in. You're lumping in like basically all men with hyper conservative people who want to roll back abortion rights. It was an extremely clumsy meme. I just get tired of people seeing those kind of things. I'm like, yeah, right on, good fucking point. It's like no, it's stupid and
I
it's
think
clumsy.
that
and in my opinion, the
person who posted that-
and it's
you would-
hateful and it doesn't help.
The person who
Explain
posted
how that helps.
probably doesn't have a single male person she knows who isn't pro-choice.
Here's what I was going to say.
They all are on
We
board.
are all
We're all
pro-choice.
on board.
You were
with
saying
your
that
choice.
you were saying that he was the one who. Sorry, fuck.
we are not going to.
Anyway,
you wanted to
this
not
podcast
name
is
names.
fucked anyway.
I have a thing about.
I'm not
this
gonna.
isn't getting
Let me
exactly
finish my
thing.
fucking
Okay,
point.
yeah, go on.
No, I think it's obvious enough that when she posted that, she knew what kind of reaction it would get from certain people.
She was trolling.
and she enjoyed it.
Well, of
She was
course.
trolling.
I got trolled, I think.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
when
That's
I
what you did.
and
That's
when
what I want to
said-
say. That's all I wanted to say.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But when
I
I
let
said
myself get trolled.
when I said that I thought it was a dumb meme,
You were getting
her
trolled.
first instinct was to say, "Why do you feel threatened?"
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like,
That's
right,
what,
exactly.
Why
that's what
would I
makes it a
feel-
troll.
Why would I feel threatened? And that's what are you talking about?
I don't
I
feel
just think it's
personally
stupid.
threatened unless you're actually trying to use this as a personal threat. Are you?
I was criticizing the meme.
Now, I don't know what you guys know about vasectomies. And
I
this
do
this
know things
meme,
about
I
them.
get it, and in its elementary state, I get the message. And I mean, if I could have a vasectomy, yeah, sure, why not? If I could have it reversed, sure, why not?
Yeah, that's not how it.
But that's not how
it's
it
very
works.
sketchy.
Now, do you guys know anyone that's actually had a vasectomy?
My dad.
Yeah, tons.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I know
older
3 people that have. 2 of them tried for the longest time, but they couldn't get it because when you
Reversed?
go to, no, to get the
Oh,
vasectomy,
okay.
because you have to have a consultation with your doctor, and if the doctor doesn't think, if the doctor is not convinced that you're not going to have
Yeah.
kids in the future, he's not going to endorse you having a vasectomy.
Girls
'cause
go through the same thing.
I mean,
because the healthcare doesn't want to have to waste 2 operations on an idiot that doesn't know that either wants to have kids
Well-
later, and they don't want to waste the
Also,
resource.
the government wants people to breed.
Well, here's the
Right?
thing. They actually do. But like, here's the thing.
I think
that,
they would just want immigrants.
So,
Here's a-
like, the two people that I know that eventually got vasectomies, they tried a couple times and they couldn't, and then they lied their asses off the second or third time. Like, yeah, I have 3 kids. They borrowed photos of kids from their friends to prove that they had kids. Oh yeah, me and the old lady, we're gonna stop after this. Or we've stopped after the 3rd child, and the doctor was like, okay, I guess you can have a vasectomy now. But like,
Who are these parents whoring out pictures of their friends for vasectomy? For
Well, they were desperate. They really
So in terms-
fucking weird.
they really wanted a vasectomy.
In terms of,
Oh, you can take
okay,
the kid if you want. Take him to the doctor.
I could say that there may be some kind, unless now maybe it's different. Like, can't you just? I thought you could just go and like pay for it. Like I didn't think
Maybe in a different country.
Yeah, in America.
Yeah, maybe.
we
Yeah, I
do
don't
have,
think
but
so, yeah.
we do have private clinics here, and I've like I've heard
not fully
fucking.
sure.
I've heard ads on like sports radio. They're like, "Come in, it's a 1-day thing. It's a laser thing, and then at the end of the weekend, you're good to go, bro."
And apparently, you can
like-
smell it. They're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about the
you
When
can
I had
smell
eye
it.
Anyway, the
surgery,
point
I could
is-
smell my eye burning by a laser. It was crazy.
The point
smell.
is, I think you are able to. You do have the option here to just go and pay for it yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just the point.
That's all.
The weird thing about that meme is that there was some sort of veil about like this is actually a joke when really everybody took it fully literally. Really, everybody took it so seriously. That was not a joke. It was supposed to be a joke. Like,
But maybe
they got-
us most of all.
No, everybody did. You know, I just said I didn't think it was funny. Apparently, that's an unacceptable opinion to have. That I didn't think that particular meme that was talking about like forcing guys to get vasectomies and wait until they're responsible to reverse them. I didn't think it was great.
Yeah,
and apparently that's controversial.
Well, it's not, though.
Of course not. Of course it isn't.
Yeah. The thing is that, yeah, maybe commenting in general is not the right
Yeah.
move.
Oh,
but you got.
I had a policy
it's
on
good-
the internet to
it's-
not comment on anything, but
Of course. No, that's-
I have broken. I'm starting to break that because what I'm seeing is people just keep posting shit like that. They're running away with the narrative. Everybody seems to think that this is
Sure.
totally
You
normal
feel like
way
you
to
gotta
communicate.
step in a little bit.
I hate getting involved. I have no
I know.
desire.
I know.
To
I
comment.
quit
Yeah,
for that reason.
And that's the
Yeah.
reasonable thing
I
to
know.
do. Quit. Don't comment. I just feel
that is, right? That's probably-
I have kids now. I care about the future. I care that there's going to be a counterpoint to things now. I care that it's like, hey,
But hey,
let's
hey.
not be fucking crazy.
And-
how about that?
But you know what? That's probably the least productive place in the whole fucking face of the earth.
Oh yeah,
to
I
take
mean,
a stand
for
on
sure.
anything.
I just
right?
feel like it is shaping our reality.
It is.
Everybody's using Facebook or Twitter or Instagram
It
or
is.
whatever, and it is shaping our reality. People think
It
this
will
is
take-
normal, and it actually is like 5% of people will actually think these kind of things.
So-
and they're
But
allowed.
it will take a large, like, en masse movement of people who finally give it up and reject it. You know, it's kind of like
I have an
One
honest
day-
question.
I'm
like,
participating in that.
one day,
even though I really don't.
One
want
day,
to.
everyone quit MySpace, right? So, like, even years ago, I thought that would already have happened with Facebook by now. But I still think it is kind of in the cards for the future. Although, like, I think they knew that from the start too. So they're doing everything they can to keep you like addicted to the platform.
I have a question.
But one day, most people, I think, will realize just how harmful it is. Maybe we need a fucking like public service announcement from the government.
But the government's going
from
the opposite
Facebook.
way. The government's going
Mark
the other way.
Zuckerberg
From the government,
needs to
from
say it.
our public health officials need to say, listen, social media
It's like a disease.
It makes you mentally ill, and it's a health risk. It's like
Yeah.
they put a warning on cigarettes. I think
Yes.
they need to put a warning on
Yes.
social
I
media.
totally agree.
Yes.
100%.
So
It's a
when I
terrible
read
waste.
when I read that post and I felt a little burned and I felt a little emotions about it. Am I just being a bitch? Maybe maybe I need to.
Yeah,
No.
probably.
Man up a bit,
Yeah,
right?
I'd
Well-
say so, yeah.
But then I feel like
yeah.
I get to this thing in my head where I feel like that's part of the toxicity with the way we talk about men in our society is that we're not supposed to, have permission to be like, hey man, like don't.
Here,
like
it's-
we're not.
it's-
We're supposed to always be tough. We're supposed to always be like, yeah, we are the worst.
So that's kind of what I was going to say. Like,
That's
if
the
you
thing that
were,
bugs me
If
is
you were
like,
really going
yeah,
to
it's-
we're
demonstrate,
taught. Men are taught from a young age that we don't win by being weak or vulnerable. Because we see it. We see that the men that succeed the most
But the least manly thing you can do is be on social media and get upset about a meme from some feminist instead of you should actually be going and you should be playing hockey and then chopping wood.
Beating
and then
up nerds, bashing nerds.
And then bashing your knuckles on a fucking engine with a wrench. You would never have time for social media. We all need to move
That's a
away.
fair point. That's a fair point.
We need to take the time we spend on there and do something
I agree,
like...
but I also think like you can't overestimate the amount that people are paying attention to social media and are shaping the world that is.
But I think you can have a greater influence, not maybe having a debate like as if there's such a thing as a
debate was unhelpful.
I don't know. There could be a way to have a. I think you can be more influential by you bump into someone in real life and they're like, oh yeah, I haven't talked to you. Are you Facebook? What's going on? And you're like, Facebook's gay, bro. Ditch it. Ditch that shit.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, maybe I'll think about. I've always thought about that a little bit, but
everybody feels that.
I'm hearing more and more people are just getting rid of Facebook because it's shitty. It's a bad experience, and you just start telling people that you're off it, and it just snowballs from there.
I like to believe in that particular instance online. Once I fully explained how thoroughly I thought everything was terrible, everybody kind of shut the fuck up really quick. So, I'm just going to let myself believe that it actually reached people. And that'll be good for me. That'll be good for me in my personal life.
As long as you feel satisfied.
I feel good because everybody shut up. And,
I can guarantee you everyone involved in that feels exactly the same way today as they did yesterday.
I know.
So
I'm going to believe what I believe. I'm going to just...
Nailed it.
I just fucking nailed it.
What's going on with the government? What have they done to you?
They vaccinated me. Get vaccinated, and then they'll be able to find you.